training video, I explain how to write an email intended to persuade the reader. You write an email to persuade when you want the reader to perform some action or believe some points. It may be that you want a budget increase, the use of additional workspace, a new software program, or any of many other actions that the reader can perform for you if you're successful in persuading the reader to your point of view. I'll explain how to write a persuasive email using an email from Paula to the CEO of the Premier Construction Services, Marge. Paula is the Information Technologies Manager. Before you start writing, decide what you want to accomplish. What do you want from the reader? Normally, you'll want an action. Decide what that action will be before you begin. If you want the reader to call you, have that in mind as you write. If you want the reader to talk to someone, focus on getting the reader to do that. In our case study, Paula wants to persuade Marge to allow her to hire a web programmer. Use a subject line that will be appealing to the reader you're trying to persuade. It should have a benefit or a personal connection for the reader. In the example, increasing business with the web is appealing to Marge because she wants her company to succeed. A subject line such as web programmer or new idea would not have that appeal. Address the reader cordially by name. If you're writing a persuasive email to a number of people, use a mail program that puts each person's name in the salutation. Open with a hook. Start with an appealing statement that you make as personal as you can. You want to get the reader engaged right from the beginning. In the example, Paula writes, "I'm convinced you're right." She reminds Marge that it's her idea and appeals to her desire to give the company a wider presence. State the action you want. If you believe the reader may not be favorable, you may choose to state the action after you've built the case. Then build the case. Use only those facts that are appealing. Don't load the email full of facts, even if you believe they are all adding weight. Stay with those that are most appealing. Paula has 2 facts. Paula lays them out by putting each into its own paragraph to give it strength. She minimizes the amount of text and detail. She stays with what's appealing. Use stories, statistics, and testimonials. They're more appealing. If you have a story, especially involving the reader, use it. If you have statistics that will show what the solution will do, include them. If you have testimonials from people who have experienced the solution, include them. Paula uses the competitor to engage Marge. She writes that the Martin Construction website makes their services look like they're cutting edge, but hastens to add that Marge's company's services are better. Motivate the action. Tell the reader what the vision for the future will be or what great things will happen if the action occurs. Paula tells Marge that in just a few weeks the company will be appealing to people in the Midwest. Marge wanted to widen the company's appeal, and Paula envisions that as the result of this action. Include a timeline. If you'd like this done now, write that. Paula says she'd like to start tomorrow, so she's giving a timeline to Marge without stating that. Marge needs to respond right away. End with something that matters to the reader. After you've made the appeal, end on a very positive note that will be emotionally appealing to the reader. Throughout the email, focus as personally on the reader as you can. If you have an example in which the reader was involved, use it. Paula's solution satisfies a need Marge has voiced, so she words it as putting Marge's wishes into action. It comes closer to being Marge's solution. Use the reader's name where you want to have maximum impact. Paula addresses Marge using her name at the point where she wants to have maximum impact at the ending. End with how you will carry out the action you want. State when you will do it. Write like you talk. Throughout, be conversational and friendly. Don't be flippant and too casual. However, write as you would speak to the reader. Keep your sentences short and vocabulary simple. These are the important points that will enable you to write a successful, persuasive email. Write an appealing subject line using something of importance to the reader. Open with a hook that is important to the reader. State the action you want. Leave this until later if you need to build the case first. Build the case. Motivate the action. Include a timeline. End with something that matters to the reader. You can write emails that persuade readers to your point of view or to perform some action. To do so, plan the email carefully, using the strategies taught in this training video.